Hello everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very well. Listen, we're about to play Brentford in the Premier League, and this is such an important game. Oh my God. I can't stress how important this game is. I look at this game as a real indicator as to whether Chelsea can actually finish in a Champions League position ahead of Man City, Aston Villa, Brighton, Bournemouth, maybe not Nottingham Forest, all those teams. I've met Newcastle as well. This is the game that will give me hope, if there's any. Because right now, I know that we're right in amongst it. I don't feel like the way we've been playing is... That doesn't give me confidence. Listen, it was better against Spurs, 100%, but you have to look at where they are on the table as well. 14th, 15th place. They've been playing poor football. They're an open side. They're there for the taking, ultimately. If teams set up the right way, then Tottenham will always give you chances. You just have to take them. And, that's what we did. And I don't want to take anything away from that result. But I don't want to sit here and act like I didn't expect Chelsea to get anything from that game, or that I wasn't sure if Chelsea would win the game. We all knew that we'd beat Tottenham, and we beat Tottenham. So what? Brilliant. I'm happy, but I think this is really where we need to see what this team is made of, see what the manager's made of. Can he adapt? Can he change things in a time of pressure? Can he make the right decisions in terms of the players he starts, the way he chooses to play, the instructions he gives to the players, and the in-game decisions as well? Maresca's been too stringent for me. He hasn't adapted enough. But like any manager, if he produces a winning formula, I'm obviously going to be behind him. But 2025 has been a difficult year, man. And following Chelsea has not been fun over the past couple of months. So I was really glad to see the win against Tottenham. But I don't feel anywhere near as confident as I did going into the Tottenham game as I do... going into this game against Brentford as I did when we played Tottenham. I don't feel as confident. I think if I had to say off the top of my head, I feel like we've got a draw written all over this game. That's the way it seems to me. I'm not saying we're going to lose. Thomas Frank seems to think that Brentford can win. He's actually come out and said that we're under all the pressure. We need to finish in the Champions League positions. So we've got the pressure. But he still thinks that Brentford can absolutely get something out of that game and win. And fair play to the man. Like, he's got a great record against Chelsea, so why wouldn't he think that Brentford could beat us? They have a good record against us, home and away, to be fair. I know that last season... what was the score last season? We lost both games against Brentford. We lost the home game and we lost the away game as well. In fact, the away game last season was when fuck off Todd Bowley chants started happening. I remember that very, very well. And that's when things really got toxic in the away end. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be anything like that when we play Brentford this time, but fans want to see that same level of energy, application, positive play that we saw against Tottenham. But when you're playing against a team that are sitting deeper and not giving you that space to operate, that's where I think we're really going to struggle. Now, when we look at this game, there are a number of things I think we'll do differently. Goalkeeping will remain the same throughout the rest of the season. There's not even any point addressing Robert Sanchez. We know Robert Sanchez is going to play, so it is what it is. Cucurella on the left, I would honestly go with the same centre-backs as well. I would go with Colwell and Chalobah. I think Chalobah was fantastic against Tottenham. He was brilliant. His distribution was great. His defensive work rate. He was great. He was brilliant. And I actually thought Gusto was half decent against Tottenham as well. I'm not going to say it was amazing. I'm not going to say it was poor. He was all right. He was good. He was okay. A lot better than we've seen when he's inverted in the past. But I think the reason that Gusto started in that game was because he's not the kind of player that you put in to invert against the low block. And I think we'll end up seeing Reece James on the right-hand side, inverting again against Brentford. Now, the one thing that James can bring, he can obviously distribute his passes well. He's good at picking a pass. He's good at whipping in a nice cross as well. We need someone to be on the end of those crosses. But yeah, Reece James will certainly make an impact in this game. I think he'll make a difference. Whether that's enough to win the game is another thing. Our midfield, Caicedo and Enzo, that's already settled. I thought both of them were fantastic against Spurs. And what I want to see more often from both of these guys is getting in position to score in the box. Fernandes, another great header, making the run. Palmer finally getting an assist. He's created so many chances for players, and they haven't finished their dinner. But this time Fernandes did it. And yeah, good to see him getting on the end of a cross. We put enough crosses into the box and nobody's there to meet them. That's not exactly Jackson's best strength. But when you've got players like Pedro Neto, that is his underlying value in this team, is his ability to whip in dangerous balls. You need players that are in there, in and amongst it. And I think that Neto can definitely cause problems, although some people are saying he should play on the left. I personally think he's okay on either side. But I'm not against the idea of Pedro Neto starting on the left. He's done good things in that position, as well as on the right-hand side as well. That is if you're playing Sancho on the right. Sancho's been underwhelming. Listen, he had 2 shots against Tottenham. One was on target, one was off target. He could have scored a goal, he didn't. Even if he had scored, though, we would have still looked at the performance, and if he hadn't have scored the goal, you'd still say it wasn't great, and which is what we've said about Nkunku many times. Even when he has scored, it's like, what have you contributed apart from that? Are you helping? Are you making the team better, setting aside your goals? And if the answer is no, then that's not a good thing. I mean, you're going to have to keep up really good GA in order for that to not be relevant in the conversation. Because even Palmer, for example, one of our best players from a GA perspective, he's a runner, he's a workhorse, he defends, he makes players around him better, and he puts that shift in. Jackson, again, another example, a player who makes life for his teammates easier. And when I think of Jadon Sancho, I'm not really seeing that application. I'm not seeing the confidence. I'm not seeing the willingness to take enough risks. And I know part of that is because of the manager and the way the manager wants to play. Ultimately, if the manager's giving you certain instructions, you have to follow them to an extent. But at the same time, we know Maresca wants to keep the ball, but at some point you've got to pass the ball forward. You've got to have a crack. You can't just have the ball and not do anything with it like we did against Arsenal. It doesn't work. You don't win matches like that. And when we're playing against Brentford, we need to be not only creating chances, we need to be creating lots of chances, good chances, because they will be sitting deep. They'll defend well. They've got a good goalkeeper, and they've got a nice structure. So it's going to be difficult to break them down. And then you also have to be aware of the fact that they can counter very well. So Sancho, for me, I drop him for this game. And I actually want to see Tyreek George start on the left-hand side if we're seeing Neto on the right. Potentially Madueke could start as well. But if we're being cautious, if we're being careful, just bring him on as a substitute. And I'm sure he can make an impact in that regard as well. He's a player who would be well suited to breaking down a team like Brentford. But we take enough risks with players. This is a crucial moment in the season. Like, Fofana's out, obviously. He's not available. Like, the best ability in football is availability. And just to be able to speak about Jackson playing and bringing on Madueke and all of these players, that is value in itself. And then I ask the question, where the fuck is Lavia? Where's Fofana? They're not even there. And that maybe we need to start having a conversation about these guys. Is this really now are Chelsea in a position where we spent all this money on 2 players who are practically never available, but when they are available, they're still one of our best players? So does that mean we still build the team around these guys, even though the majority of the time they're not playing with the team anyway? I ask you that in the chat. I mean, personally, for me, like, I'm not sitting here saying to sell any of them. I'd keep Fofana and I'd keep Lavia next season, but I wouldn't prioritise them as the building blocks to Chelsea's success long term or short term, because they're not reliable physically. On the ball, I think Lavia in his position is just stunning. The way he's able to get past the press, and his agility is sensational. His footwork, Fofana's got that aggression. He's got good distribution. He can run with the ball. He's an aerial threat. But if they're not available, we can't keep having this conversation. Like, we said the same things with Reece James. I mean, at least Reece James is available for this game. And maybe that's one thing Maresca is doing well, is playing James in a way that he's not exerting that much energy. So he's able to maintain this standard or this structure, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, really disappointing that those two players aren't playing. But I think the highlight for me is going to be the wingers in terms of what can change, what we can control. Is Sancho, does he start? Should he get dropped? If he gets dropped, I think Tyreek George should be given a shout. Do I think it will happen? Absolutely not. I don't think it will happen, but I want to see it. I think Tyreek George, when I've seen him play, I've never thought, oh, he's been rubbish or he's been crap. Or he's been useless. He hasn't made anything happen. There's been moments where things haven't worked out for him as much, but even when we were losing against Brighton and he came on, he was one of our better players. Copenhagen, I'm sure he got an assist against Southampton as well. His confidence has surely increased in recent games. And as a manager, you need to lean on all your players, not just your experienced ones, but your young ones as well. Maresca's played plenty of young players. I mean, we have the youngest squad in the Premier League. You don't really have any experience to choose from, but still, George is, he's not played much. And I think when he has played, he's made a good account of himself. So I would start him against Brentford and just take the risk. Worst case, you sub him off, but give him a chance. Give the player a chance, someone who can make things happen. And we know he's going to have that energy as well that we don't see from Sancho. He'll make those runs that we don't see, and he'll probably try and take on players that we wouldn't see Sancho take on. And that's the thing against Brentford, is can we take enough risks but also have that defensive stability? I think this game has got a 1-1 written on it. I don't think that we're going to lose. I don't think we're going to win. If we can get that first goal, fantastic. We'll be in control. But Brentford can still cause issues. I don't think they've had a great record in home games in 2025, but that doesn't change anything for me. Our record against Brentford is not that great. They're basically one of our bogey teams, aren't they, in recent years. So, yeah, we need to take this game seriously, more serious than Tottenham, in my opinion. We need to understand that, listen, Brentford, they may not be as big a club as Tottenham. Fucking hell, they're more dangerous than Tottenham will be in terms of what they can bring to the game and the threats they have, because they're not going to be open, ready. They're not going to be open the whole time. We're going to have to break them down bit by bit and then shut out their counter-attacks as well. And their set pieces. We know they like a long throw as well, Brentford. So, yeah, 1-1 for me. That's my opinion on this game. And I'll be there in the stadium. Hopefully we can do it. Let me know what you think in the comments as well, guys. Do you think that we can beat Brentford? Are you confident? Are you not confident? Who starts? What's your predicted starting 11 as well? And yeah, looking forward to the game.